Hi, and welcome to Brett's Corner, where we cover everything small business. From how to start a business, to how to grow your business, to how to keep your books, and ultimately how to position and sell your business, and some things to think about after you've sold your business. If you're a small business owner, or you're thinking of being a small business owner, you're in the right place. My name is Brett Husselball, and I've been a small business owner for over half my career. I started my first small business in 1995. I quickly grew that one to over multi-millions in revenue, and I sold that to a Fortune 500 in 1998. I started my second small business in 2000. I grew that one more slowly to over $1 million in revenue, and I sold that to a multi-billion-dollar corporation in 2014. And now I'm retired. And what I like to do here at the Corner is to share the benefit of my experience with you. So, before we begin, a quick disclaimer. Number one, I'm not an attorney. I will share with you some of the experiences I've had regarding legal issues and what worked for me, but what worked for me may not work for you. If you have specific legal questions, consult an attorney. Number two, I'm not a CPA, nor am I a certified financial planner. But like every business owner, I know my financials, and we'll talk financials, and I'll share with you some of the things that you should know. But if you have specific financial questions or tax questions, consult a professional. Same goes with investment questions. Consult a professional. So, with that out of the way, let's get on to today's video. Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about positive mental attitude, the importance of staying positive in running your small business. Now, a lot of people think somebody who is overly optimistic and always up is unrealistic. They're living in a dream world. The fact of the matter is, you cannot be too positive. Think of your own experience. What happens when you're trying to solve a problem? Let's say you're a salesperson and you've been given some pretty tough numbers to hit for this quarter. How do you solve that? Well, if the answer isn't instantly obvious to you, your mind goes to work on it. And when it's not in the foreground of your mind, it moves to the background, it moves to your subconscious. And your subconscious is constantly working on it. How many times has the answer to something presented itself to you suddenly out of nowhere? You could be sound asleep and the answer comes to you. It's because your subconscious finally figured out the answer and it's alerting you. Consider yourself having an antenna array erected in all directions, and you are evaluating everything. Every person you come in contact with, no matter how casual that contact, you are evaluating to see if they can help you solve this problem. You might not know that you're doing that, but you are. Every article that you read, everything your mind takes in is being evaluated to see if it can help solve this problem. So let's say you begin to get frustrated with your lack of progress. And to protect yourself from the fear of possibly failing, you allow yourself to speak negatively about the outcome. You may say something like, I don't know how they expect me to hit these numbers. It can't be done. What you just did is you just began to set your expectations. You just began to admit that it can't be solved. And who's the first you convinced? Your own subconscious. Your subconscious folds up your antenna array as soon as it hears that, because it has heard you admit that the problem can't be solved. The very next person you come in contact with could be the one that helped you solve the problem, but you won't know because you're not looking for them anymore, because you've already convinced your subconscious that it can't be solved. And if you continue to do that, you'll convince yourself that it cannot be done. Do not allow yourself to speak negatively about outcomes you do not wish to achieve. Let me give you a story that helps reinforce that. I worked for a guy, small business owner in Dallas. He had been burned a couple times in business, gave him some trust issues. And I would see this cycle repeated out. It actually happened to me too. He'd hire a new employee. He'd be very positive about that employee for a few days. Then he couldn't help himself. He just turned negative on him. It was like he flipped a switch. And as soon as he did, that employee was doomed. There was nothing they could do right. Even though the employee's behavior had not changed, his expectation of them had changed. So you might ask yourself, why would a business owner expect negative outcomes from his own employees? In his case, he was out of fear. He was afraid of being taken advantage of, paying too much for a poor performing employee. It happened to him once or twice, and now he had trust issues. But what happened was he set his own expectations for a negative outcome. Then that outcome happened because that's what he expected. Nothing had changed with the employee. He just expected of a negative outcome. Some people call that self-fulfilling prophecy. So here's an important success principle, not just for business, but for life. You get what you expect. You get what you expect. Not what you hope for, not what you wish for, not what you dream about, but what you expect. Do you like sports? Do you ever wonder what makes a difference between a winning team and a losing team? In some sports, there's parity between all the athletes. So what's the difference? Largely the difference is a winning team expects to win. It doesn't occur to them to lose. They always find a way to win. A losing team, on the other hand, expects to lose. They always find a way to lose. So if you want positive outcomes, you have to set positive expectations. How do you set positive expectations? Well, one of the first steps is speak positively. Think positively. That starts to set your expectations. When I sold my first business, the deal was consummated by a fax. And one of my advisors was present when that fax came over, and he handed that fax to me and he said, "You must be relieved to be out from under all that debt." I had personally signed for over 4 times my annual salary in debt. But until he said that, it had honestly never occurred to me that I would default on that debt. It never occurred to me the company would fail. Never. If you look at any entrepreneur you know, any business owner that you might know, if you look for one common trait between all of them, you will probably find positive expectations. They have a strong belief system in themselves and their abilities to succeed. And that's an ingredient. If you don't have that, you'll need that. But you can get that. You just have to immerse yourself. The first step is just to start speaking positively about things you want. Allow yourself to only speak positively. When you speak, your mind listens. Here's what you say. Another thing I recommend doing is reading. Napoleon Hill's Master Keys to the Riches is a good place to start. But there are many books on success principles. I recommend reading those books. Another way to build positive expectations is to have successes. Focus on getting successes at work. Focus on getting successes in whatever you do. That helps to build your expectation of positive outcomes. And here's another important thing, and this may be hard for some people. You've got to take inventory of your friends. Who are your friends? Are they a bunch of successful business people who prop you up and are genuinely happy for your successes? Or are they a bunch of couch potatoes who like to sit around and complain about their lot in life? Who you hang around with helps to set your frame of mind. So if you want to be a successful business owner, start hanging around successful people and pattern yourself after them. So imagine yourself as a small business owner, and you allow yourself to speak negatively about a customer or about one of the employees or about a deal that you're chasing. What message are you sending to your employees? They watch you, they listen to you. Whether you realize it or not, you are actually beginning to set expectations, organizational expectations of failure. You cannot allow yourself, especially as a leader, to openly speak negatively. Because every time you do, you are actually reinforcing and setting negative expectations. Get into the habit, setting positive expectations, saying positive things, speaking positively about people, speaking positively about outcomes you're trying to achieve. That's an important step to building a positive winning culture. If you like the content we're providing here, please follow us. And as always, if you have any questions, please direct those questions to info@brettscorner.com. I'll watch that email address and I'll respond to your emails. I won't respond to comments you leave on the video, so please use the email address if you have any questions or you want me to respond. And as always, thanks for watching.